Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can everybody hear me? All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I can see that you can hear me. So I'm using two screens, and so I can read comments. Hi, everyone. Good evening and welcome. So we're going to give people a minute or two to join. Okay. So let's give people a minute or two to join the broadcast. All right. So let's give people a minute or two to join while I'll be checking over here to see your comments and all right. So let's give people a minute or two to join. Okay, so hello. So we're going to be starting at exactly 7:10. Okay, so let's just give people a few minutes to join us. In the meantime, let me see who is online now. Okay, so I can see Fumisho, I can see Wale. Dr. Wale is my friend. He's a medical doctor too. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So as you're joining, kindly tell me where you're joining from and your name. Okay, so let's see who is here and where you're joining us from. So in the meantime, let's just give people a few minutes to join us. 2 more minutes and we start. I promised you 60 minutes and you're going to try to keep to time. Okay, so Hi, Wale. Wale joining us from the UK. Hi. So, this is like an international broadcast now, right? So, not just from Nigeria, we have someone from the UK. So, welcome, Wale. As you're joining us, kindly let us know where you're joining from so that we can celebrate you and so that we can know how far. Oh, Fumisho is joining us from Ogun State, Nigeria. Welcome, Fumisho. So, who else is online? Kindly let us know where you're joining us from, your name, and your location. Just in a minute, we'll start with the presentation. All right, so this is 7:10, and I believe that we can start. Other people can join us as we go on. Welcome to your Health in Your Hands webinar. Okay, and as you know, this your health in your hands simply means a system for you to take control of your own life, take control of your own health. One thing that I seek to do is to educate people around me and as many people as I can reach, so that you can basically be your own doctor, so that you can be in control. The more you know, the more in control you will be, right? So today's topic is be in control, effectively manage and prevent diabetes. Hi, I'm Dr. Mavi. I'm a medical doctor, board certified lifestyle medicine specialist with the International Board of Lifestyle Medicine, that's IBLM, and I'm the founder of Dietol Health Labs. So, lifestyle medicine simply means that I help to prevent and treat chronic illnesses using lifestyle measures. So, you're in good hands. So, by the end of the 60 minutes with me today, you should have a lot of knowledge about how to control your blood sugar so that you will never have sleepless nights about it anymore. Okay, so I'm seeing Mr. Chile from Delta State. Welcome, sir. Welcome to the broadcast. So at the end of this 1 hour, okay, the focus should be that you would know a lot about how to prevent and how to manage diabetes so that you would never have to worry about it, because this is one thing that people are always anxious about. What's my blood sugar like? Oh, my blood sugar is high, and so on. But at the end of this broadcast, you should be able to be so in control that it's no longer a problem for you. So, a little bit of my story, right? My backstory. Diabetes is personal to me. Anybody that knows me knows that this is something that that makes me come alive, helping people to prevent or to treat diabetes. In 2018, I lost my dad. I was already a doctor then. I lost my dad to diabetes. Okay. And that's really made me go after an alternative. I would say I needed to find answers. Okay. So I had to find something beside the normal diabetes treatment we've been getting, the drugs. So because my dad was on his medications and he still had complications and we lost him. So I needed to know what else was there. What didn't we know? And that led me down, to find out nutrition and the role it plays in management and treatment of diabetes and other chronic illnesses. And that was the foundation of my work in lifestyle medicine. That's really what led me to lifestyle medicine. And the second picture is me speaking at Nigeria Diabetes Summit. That was last week. I was one of the panelists. And this is basically what I do, teaching people about chronic illnesses, including diabetes. Okay, so that's a bit about me. So today, let's focus on what we're going to be doing today. So today, if you pay attention and you take action after the class, you will have diabetes control at your fingertips. Trust me, okay? Because I'll be showing you daily actions that you are carrying out every day, things that you're doing that put you at risk of diabetes and how to fix them. Okay, so you're going to find out what are you doing every day that's making you, let's say that making you more and more at risk of developing high blood sugar and what you can do about that. And then easy ways to choose and eat foods. One major problem in diabetes management is food. Everybody's worrying, oh, what am I going to eat? That will not raise my blood sugar. I'll be showing you easy ways so that you don't have to worry so much about food, so that you can enjoy your life. Because many times that anxiety takes away enjoyment, of food for people that have diabetes. That is one problem. Okay, so I just got a complaint now that the slides that is not changing. Is that is everybody having the same problem? Okay, please give me a sec. Has it changed now? Please let me know. Thank you, Dr. Wale, for letting me know that it was not changing. Okay. All right. So sorry about that. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. So I didn't know it wasn't changing. So I think I'm going to leave it like this instead of using the full. So yeah. So if you pay attention and take action, you will have diabetes control at your fingertips. Okay, because I'll be showing you daily actions that put you at risk of diabetes and how to fix them. Thank you so much, Fumisho. Thank you so much, Dr. Wale. So I think now we can see the slides and easy ways to choose and eat foods so that your blood. You would also see lifestyle measures that help to boost insulin because the major problem in type 2 diabetes is insulin resistance. Okay, when your body, insulin is a hormone that should make your body use the blood sugar in your blood. Okay, and when there's a problem, which I'll be showing you later, what can cause those problems, your cells begin to resist this insulin. And when that happens, okay, the blood sugar that's gotten from food will just stay in your body and it will not be used. That is what we now call diabetes. Okay, so lifestyle measures can actually help your body, help your cells become more sensitive to insulin so that they can use the blood sugar and the blood sugar can drop. So you can see how that happens. Okay, then 5 things every person living with diabetes should own. I'm going to be showing you what those things are, things that you must absolutely have, okay, if you're going to monitor and control your blood sugar. And then lastly, 3 mistakes you are probably making in your diabetes management and how to fix them. All right, so if you stay to the end, I've got something amazing to show you. I'll be showing you something that we've been working on that would really help you control blood sugar. So are you ready? All right, let's go. So why do people fail in diabetes control? You need to understand, um, why people fail in diabetes control for you to know why there's so much frustration around this topic. Many people are frustrated. Okay, they just are not happy with what their blood sugar reading is. People keep calling. In fact, I had a call with a woman a few days ago, and she was so sad. She told me that she was tired of being alive, that she's a burden to her family, burden to her loved ones, and she no longer had any joy, in life, especially with food and all of that. So why do people fail in diabetes control? Why are people always anxious about this particular disease? I'm going to show you why. All right. Um, Number one, confusion. There's too much conflicting information online. There's no clear direction. I mean, every single time you go online, there's somebody trying to sell something to you. Somebody's trying to tell you what to eat. Low carb diet, zero carb diet, keto diet. So many things are flying around. People have a lot of information to offer those living with diabetes. Okay, so there's no clear direction, and this can lead to frustration. Also, many people living with diabetes do not personalize their own diabetes control. So they just take, oh, what worked for Mama A should work for me. But that's not how it works. You understand? So many people do not personalize the diabetes control. And there's some people do not take action. So even after they've learned, they still do not take action. And I'm hoping that will not be the case, for anybody here. Okay. Are you going to take action? Because I'm going to be teaching you a lot of stuff. Promise me you're going to take action after listening to me tonight. If you take action, kindly just type in the comment section, I will take action. Or just type action. All right. Just type action because of time. Just type action. Let me see the comment section. If you're going to take action, if you promise to take action after now, okay, just type action and we can go on. Let me see. All right. So I see Wale is saying yes. So he's going to take action. Can I see more replies? All of us online, can we engage so that I can know that you're really getting what I mean? Action, yes, I can see action. All right, so we're just going to go ahead because we've already lost some time. All right, so these are some of the testimonies of those that have worked with me. You can see Fumisho saying action. Thank you so much, Fumisho. So, Mr. F from Abakaliki, his blood sugar went from 115 to 83 while working with me. And he also lost about 6 kg. I don't know if you can see the screen, about 6 kg during our time together. And Mrs. M in Ikeja, 53-year-old woman, her blood sugar went from 160 to 96 within 2 weeks. Okay, and within 150, 160 to 96, within 2 weeks, her blood pressure is normal. She lost some weight, and she's so happy because she now has hope that she can actually be drug free one day. Okay, so the truth is this: diabetes control is not rocket science. It really is not rocket science. Okay, we don't have to overcomplicate things. Okay, many people believe that it's difficult to control diabetes, but it's not. Really, if you understand the principles, you are handling like a pro. Trust me, you can crash your blood sugar and keep it normal if only you understand what I'm about to teach you. So, first of all, what puts you at risk of diabetes? Why do people have diabetes? What will make you more likely to develop diabetes? Number one, family history. Do you have anybody in your family who has diabetes? For me, you already know that I have a family history of diabetes. My daddy died from complication of diabetes, right? So that means that I am at risk of having diabetes. And so is I think most of the population, most of us are at risk of having diabetes. Increasing age, the older you are, the less sensitive your cells are to insulin, right? The hormone I talked about earlier. Number three, being overweight, especially if you have belly fat. People that have pot bellies, okay, you're more at risk of having diabetes because you have a lot of fat around your organs. An unhealthy diet, also, people who eat a lot of junk food are also at risk of having diabetes. Sedentary behavior, those who sit down a lot. In this age of remote work, there's going to be an explosion of diabetes and other chronic illnesses because most people sit down all day. Okay, most people do not go out. They do not go out to hustle. They're just in front of their laptops working, and they do not exercise. So sitting down all day is terrible. Okay, it will put you at risk of heart disease, high cholesterol, and a host of other illnesses. Okay, so what else? Smoking. People who smoke, even shisha, you're not safe because you're not smoking cigarettes. You actually are not safe. Okay, if you're smoking anything, you are at risk of diabetes. If you're taking a lot of alcohol, you can't stay a week without alcohol. You're putting your body in danger. Chronic stress, Lagosians. Some of us who are here, who are Lagosians, you are at risk of diabetes. Anybody who is under chronic stress, whether emotional stress, physical stress, or any kind of stress, is at risk of diabetes. Okay, so people who do not sleep well, Lagosians again, people who do not sleep well are also at risk of diabetes. And there's a condition called obstructive sleep apnea. This usually happens in people who are overweight or obese. Okay, you can hear them snoring while they're sleeping because there's an obstruction in their airway. Okay, and this has a there's that relationship with obesity and also diabetes, but obstructive sleep apnea on its own, whether the person is fat or not, can lead to diabetes. So if you're obese, if you're overweight, if you snore while you sleep, get yourself checked out for this for sleep apnea because you're at risk of diabetes and other conditions like heart disease. Also, those who have hypertension, who have high cholesterol, are also at risk of diabetes. So check yourself, all right? Which place do you fall short? What are you guilty of? Are you guilty of being overweight? Do you eat too much unhealthy diet, junk food? Do you sit too much? Check yourself and answer that question truthfully. Okay. All right. So some things you should really bear in mind when you want to talk about diabetes control. There are pillars of diabetes control. There are things that must be in place for diabetes control to happen. Number one, weight loss. Okay. Number two, a healthy diet. Number three, exercise and increased physical activity. Number four, stress and sleep management. You can see from these pillars of diabetes control that they are really the reverse of some of the risk factors, right? So those things that put you in that state, when you change them, they will bring you out of that state. Now, this is really where lifestyle medicine comes into play, because we are trying to control blood sugar with drugs, but it doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't work because you cannot control. You have to take away what caused something. You must treat a problem from the source of the problem. You understand? So, if being overweight caused diabetes, losing weight will help with diabetes. You understand? If eating too much junk food led to diabetes, changing your diet will do the opposite. So, we have to understand that there is no diabetes control without a lifestyle change. Drugs alone cannot control diabetes. So, weight loss, a healthy diet, exercise, and general physical activity, stress, and sleep management are the pillars of diabetes control. All right, so as you can see on my screen, you can see this man with a very big belly. I hope there's nobody here with this kind of belly. Okay, I hope there's nobody here that has a pot belly such as this on my screen. So if you have a pot belly, whether it's this size, whether it's smaller than this, please do something about it because it's putting you at risk of diabetes. All right. So about 85% of people with type 2 diabetes are overweight. About 85. That's almost everybody, okay, with type 2 diabetes is overweight. So what does that tell you? That this is real. This is a real risk factor for diabetes. So I can see, oh, if you have pot belly, I can see Mr. Chile said he does. Please, if you have a pot belly, just pay attention. I will be talking about how to lose weight, okay, here on this here in this class. So that would help so that you can lose the weight and you can help to reduce your risk of diabetes so it doesn't happen. And if it's already there, so they can help to control it. Okay. So sustained weight loss is the science proven basis for remission of type 2 diabetes. All right, let me unpack this a little bit. Many people think that diabetes is for life. Type 2 diabetes can enter remission. Yes. Science has shown that you do not have to have type 2 diabetes for the rest of your life. This is unlike what we have known for years. Everybody thought that once you have diabetes, especially type 2 diabetes, that you have it forever. But that's not true. That is simply not true. Okay. Right now, science has proven that, especially for people who are overweight, people who it is insulin resistance due to weight gain that caused diabetes, they can enter remission. Okay. The blood sugar can become normal and they won't need drugs for life if they can lose weight and keep it off. Okay, so I'll talk more about that as we go on. So also weight loss helps to prevent complications like heart disease and stroke. So once you're diagnosed with diabetes or prediabetes is like a condition where your blood sugar is higher than normal. Okay, it's higher than normal, but it has not yet entered into diabetes range. Okay, so you've checked your blood sugar, they told you, oh, your blood sugar is high, but it's not yet diabetes. That is pre-diabetes. So, or if you've already entered into diabetes range, then your aim is to lose weight quickly but safely. I'll repeat it. Your aim is to lose weight quickly but safely. So between 5 to 15% of your weight. For example, if you weigh like 100, okay, you want to lose about 10 or 15 kg. All right. And that is important that you do it as quickly as possible, but safely. Losing this kind of weight and keeping it off is not done by drinking sleeping tea and purging. That's not how you lose this kind of weight and keep it off. Okay. It's not done by going to go and collect one herb that you saw on your way to work. That's not how it's done. Your aim is to lose weight safely because now you have blood sugar problems. You must be very careful what you do so that you do not cause problems for yourself. So while you're trying to lose weight quickly, but you want to do it in a very healthy way so that you do not cause more issues. All right. It's also important that the way you lost the weight is a sustainable way because you must keep that weight off to maintain the blood sugar at a normal range. So it's not enough to lose the weight to crash the blood sugar. You must be able to keep it off. All right. And when you do this effectively, the medications you are given will be reduced because the blood sugar will be controlled. And in best case scenarios, you will get off medications forever. All right. So this is very important. If you are on the big side, if you're overweight, if you have a pot belly, you must lose weight, okay, to control blood sugar. All right. So belly fat is the most dangerous. I already talked about that. Is extremely dangerous. This picture on the screen, you can see how how to measure your waist circumference. Okay, just put the tape around your belly, and if for men, less than 37 inches is ideal. Okay, if it's more than 37 inches or 94 centimeter, you're in trouble. You need to lose it. For women, less than 80 centimeter, which is 1.5 inches, when you put this normal tape around, you can see just below the belly button. Okay, just check. If it is larger than what I just said, what's on the screen, you have a large belly, you have a large waist, and a large waist is a problem. It puts you at risk of all manner of illness. You must lose belly fat. If you're at risk of diabetes, you must lose belly fat. All right, so how should you eat that will keep you healthy, help you to lose weight, maintain the weight when it's off, and also maintain normal blood sugar levels? All right, so look at my screen. Let's assume this is called the plate method. All right, just look at the screen. This is called the plate method. Half of this plate, all right, and this is not you going to carry a basin to eat sweet. No, please don't carry a basin. Bring a normal plate. The best is a 9-inch plate, okay, which is like the normal plate you use at home that is not too big, not those very big flat ones. No, a smaller plate. All right. Half of the plate should be non-starchy vegetables. What are non-starchy vegetables? Green vegetables. See, vegetable does not have enemy. I'm telling you, it's fantastic. It's the best thing you can eat. Excuse me, because you can eat a lot of it without gaining weight, without raising your blood sugar. It's also a hack because it can help you, eat other things effectively without causing problems. So let's half of your plate be green vegetables, cucumbers, tomatoes also, are also non-starchy vegetables, though they're not green in color. Then all these our normal ugu, eforiro, lettuce, cabbage, all those are non-starchy vegetables. So let them be half of the plate. Now, 1/4 of the plate should be your carbohydrate. Now, when choosing carbohydrates, as somebody that has blood sugar problems, and basically for everybody, to be honest, don't start looking for semo. If you are battling with diabetes, you have no business eating semovita. You have no, or semolina. You have no business eating things that have been over processed. Okay, you do not want to eat things that have gone through a lot of manufacturing because they've been stripped of their fiber. Diabetes control needs fiber. You must eat fiber rich foods for you to control your blood sugar. So you want to eat things like ofada rice if you want to eat rice. You want to eat things like things that have fiber, gari, amala, our native foods that are straight from the ground, except potatoes. All right, that one, don't touch it. It raises the blood sugar, even though it's a plant. Okay, so but you can eat other stuff, but except for potatoes. Now, protein foods should form 1/4 of your plate. So protein can be fish, it can be skinless chicken, and so on, other kinds of protein. All right, let's go on. So eat mostly plant. If you have diabetes, eat mostly plants. I didn't say only plant, I said mostly plants. So you want to eat more plants than animals. All right, so let most of your meals be straight from the ground and as minimally processed as possible. So things like like I said, okay, also eat lots of green vegetables with every meal. I just showed you that. Okay, every meal should have vegetables in it. Worst case scenario, you don't have vegetables, eat cucumbers. They're still vegetables anyway. So choose high fiber carbs when you want to eat carbs. You must. Ofada rice, beans, gari. Beans is a carb. All right. So in case people don't know, beans contains carbohydrates and also protein. So bear that in mind. So don't start eating rice and beans when you have diabetes. That's a lot of carb. Okay, you want to be careful with that. So ofada rice, beans, gari, amala, plantain. These are all high fiber carbs, and you want to eat them in the quantity I showed you. Very little, you can see. Okay, small food. Then let the vegetables be double of the carb. This is extremely important. Otherwise, though they have fiber, they will still shoot up your blood sugar. All right. So please, I need to be sure that you're understanding me. If you understand me, let me know. Say yes, I understand. Please, I need to be sure because this is the like we say here, we say this is the cocoa. All right. You need to understand how to eat. Otherwise, you won't be able to get a handle on your blood sugar. All right. So let me know if you understand that you should eat, that your vegetables should be double of everything you eat, and that you should eat mostly plants, and you should eat lots of green vegetables with every meal. All right. It's very important that you do these things. All right. Let me know. Yes, I understand. Oh, thank you so much, Miss Stella. She understands. So if you understand, let me know that you understand. Okay. Because this is where a lot of people fall short. Somebody will say, oh, I'm eating vegetable and it's just one spoon of vegetable. It's not going to do anything. Okay. I've seen, okay, Dr. Wale said, yes, I understand. Thank you so much. So many people eat, you see someone that has diabetes eating a lot of bread. It's not something that you should even eat, to be quite honest. Okay, things like that, baked foods, you have to be very careful. If you're diabetic, you don't want to really go close to things that have been overly processed. Like I said, eat things straight from the ground except for potatoes. Okay. Okay. All right. So pair your food with healthy fats. So we're looking for things that, a way that you can eat everything you want to eat in a very healthy way without raising your blood sugar. So vegetable is one way. The second way, also in addition to the vegetable, is healthy fats. Things like avocado, all right? Fish, a lot of fish have healthy fat in them. Chia seeds, all right? Many of these also contain protein. So protein and healthy fats would also help to control the blood sugar. All right. So let me say you want to eat rice now. You take very little rice, like I showed you earlier. You take double the amount of rice in vegetables, right? Then the other parts you want to add avocado, you add some fish, or eggs or chicken without the skin. When you do that, the blood sugar is not going to rise as much as somebody who is eating rice and stew just like that. You understand? So you want to um overwhelm the carbs a little bit. If I use that word like that, you want to overwhelm the carbs with other things that do not raise the blood sugar, because carbohydrates will be broken down into sugar. Okay, so I would not say eat zero carbohydrate. That's just silly. All right, but I would say eat high fiber so that your blood sugar can be controlled. Then add other stuff, add vegetables, add healthy fat, add protein. All right, reduce your oil intake. Many people, especially in this part of the world, we eat a lot of oil. I had a patient recently, and she started buying olive oil, which is very good for the heart. But then she was eating like she was pouring. They told her it's good for the heart, so she will pour it. And then one day I came to her house and I'm like, to say that she wants to eat. I said, how much oil are you using? I said, doctor, it's heart healthy to eat olive oil. So I'm very generous. I shouted because you are dealing with apart from, yes, it's healthy, but every spoon of oil, no matter how healthy it is, has 100 calories. Remember that weight is a problem for people who have diabetes, right? So you don't want to eat too many calories. So if you give yourself, let's say, 5 spoons of oil, no matter how healthy the oil is, it might not give you a problem with your heart directly because it's heart healthy if it's olive oil and avocado oil, but it can make you gain weight. And you're trying not to gain weight, remember. You're actually trying to lose weight, but your oil intake can put you at risk of gaining weight. Then it's worse if you're not eating other kind of oils like coconut oil, like palm oil, like other vegetable oil, plant oil. These other ones are not heart healthy. They're not healthy at all. So you're not just dealing with um calories, you're also dealing with the fact that they are not healthy. All right, so reduce your oil intake. All oils should be reduced. Okay, cut down on red meat. Devourers. I used to be a devourer. Okay, of red meat. Cut down. If you have diabetes, if you're at risk of diabetes, cut down on red meat. Okay, especially as you grow older. Drink a lot of water. As a diabetic, you have no business drinking Coke. You can't be telling me things like, oh, doctor, I'm addicted to Coke. What? You cannot afford to be addicted to Coke when you have diabetes. You cannot afford to be addicted to juice when you have diabetes. Even fruit juice, even freshly squeezed juice, as a diabetic, you have no business drinking it. It's going to raise your blood sugar. Eat your fruits whole. Okay? Eat your fruits whole. And if you must blend them, take them as smoothies. And I didn't say just go and blend one entire pineapple because it's a smoothie. No, right? As a diabetic, you must be very careful with even fruits because fruits have sugar. So you want to be careful how much fruits you eat at once and in what quantity and in what formula. You don't need liquid fruits. Eat whole fruits and not eat too much at once. Okay, but fruits are important for diabetic control, but in moderation. The only thing you can eat crazily when you're diabetic is vegetable, green vegetables. You can eat them. That's why they form the major part of the meals, but they should not form the only thing you eat. You're not a vegetarian, right? So you want to eat other stuff, but you need to pair it very well so that you don't overwhelm your system. All right, moving on. So we talked about that diet. Let me show you a little bit. Let's do a little bit of recap so that you get it. So this is the diabetes plate. This is how to eat. Half of your plate being green vegetables, carbohydrate foods that are high in fiber, and then protein foods. All right. So moving on from this, we talked about healthy fats, protein, reduce oil intake, and drink water. So exercise. Exercise is not the same thing with physical activity. Exercise is a type of physical activity, okay, but it's not the only kind of physical activity. Physical activity is general movement. How much movement do you get in a day? Walking, move, just normal movement. All right, that is physical activity. Exercise is a more organized physical activity. It's more repetitive. Okay, it's more organized. That's what exercise is about. So physical activity that is repetitive is more organized. Okay, that's exercise. So you want to increase both exercise and overall physical activity. You cannot just choose one. Okay, this is also very important. Many people would exercise in the morning and then they would sit down from morning till night without moving around. That is also dangerous. Science has shown that you are also at risk of disease even with exercise if you sit all day. So, like I said, exercise but also increase your overall physical activity. Okay, so exercise is a surefire way to drop blood sugar quickly. If your blood sugar is high, all right, higher than normal, maybe you just eating, you just tested it, it's higher than normal, quickly take a walk. Okay, let your body use the sugar because your body uses sugar for energy. So when you burn energy, your body will drop blood sugar. You understand? So exercise, especially after eating, it also helps to boost weight loss, which you want. Okay, it also helps to control cholesterol levels and improves your body's sensitivity to insulin, which I already mentioned earlier. So exercise will help you to do all of this. You need at least a minimum of 150 minutes every week. So what this means is simply, let's say 30 minutes every day for 5 days in a week. Okay, that will give you 150 minutes weekly. And what can you do? Walking. You don't need to go to the gym if you don't want to. You can take a walk. All right. Taking a walk is a very effective exercise. It's actually very underrated. Take a walk for like 15, 20 minutes if you're not used to walking, and then increase as you go on 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Okay. You can do other stuff. You can cycle, even if it's stationary bike. You can skip. You can go to the gym. You can do a lot of stuff. You can even swim. All right. But if your blood sugar is over 250 milligram, if you test it and it's higher than 250 or even 250, do not exercise. Just go to the hospital. All right. If you find yourself in this situation, just go to the hospital. No need to say, oh, let me take a walk and control the blood sugar. You don't have time for that. Just drink some water and go to the hospital. All right. So overall physical activity Increased overall movement. So you need to get some movement into your day. Sedentary behavior cancels out exercise. So take some walks if you're on the phone, if you're going to be on the phone for a while, instead of you to sit down, just take a walk around. If you're going to the neighborhood store, take a walk. Don't always drive your car. Don't always be in, AC in, AC out from your house to your car to the office. Don't do that to yourself. It's going to harm you. Okay, so you want to take walks regularly. All right. So an adult should aim for 10,000 steps in a day. But if you're just starting out, no need to kill yourself. Okay, start little. Wear a smartwatch. All right, buy a smartwatch. It's a good investment. Get one, so it can help you to calculate your steps in a day. Then, if you find out that you have, you don't walk around, just increase gradually. You can start with 2,000, 5, then 3,000, 5,000, and so on. Just keep increasing like that until you get to the goal of 10,000 steps. Then, if you're sitting down to walk, every hour, take a minute or two to move around. All right, so stand up. That would help you to get the steps you need in a day. All right, so stress and sleep management is actually another very important thing. Many people that have diabetes, are overly stressed. Stress and chronic sleep deprivation would lead to diabetes over time. So there are people who are eating well, but they're overly stressed, maybe work stress, emotional stress, whatever kind of stress. It is going to cause diabetes eventually. It increases your risk of having diabetes eventually. Also, people who do not sleep well. I already mentioned for those who have obstructive sleep apnea, who snore while they sleep. Okay, those people, many of them do not sleep well. Many of them wake up in the morning feeling tired, even though they slept through the night. All right, so you want to watch out for that. So poor sleep will lead to a hormonal imbalance, all right, which will lead to you craving a lot of junk food during the day. And of course, you're always very tired because you didn't sleep well, which will now lead to you having belly fat or being obese. So if you're not sleeping well, you're going to be hungry all the time, and you're not craving vegetable, you're craving meat pie, you're craving buns, you're craving rubbish, coke, just because you need to be alert. You want to feel alert. All right. And this will also lead you to having belly fat and obesity and all of that. So you need to be careful with your sleep. Then also, poor sleep and chronic stress would also lead to obesity. All right. Through a hormonal imbalance, and also cause insulin resistance, and then type 2 diabetes. So you need to be very careful with sleep and stress. Okay. So you need to sleep for like 7 to 8 hours every night as an adult. I know that Lagosians will not shout and say, "Oh, how is it possible?" If you love yourself, you have to make it possible. Find a way to do it. Find a way to make it possible. All right. Maybe go to bed earlier, come back from work earlier if you can manage it. And when you're home, stop watching series at night. Go to bed, sleep. Okay, sleep at night. Get the amount of sleep you need. Then also, another way for you to manage your stress is through meditation, mindfulness, journaling, serenity prayer. I use journaling, meditation, and serenity prayer personally to handle stress. Okay, so this is the beginning of the serenity prayer. Many of us know it. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. All right, so this is very important. If you can accept things you cannot change, you won't stress over them. If you have the courage to change the things you can change, you won't stress over them. But you need the wisdom to know the difference. All right, so this is very important. And when you think about it a lot, it helps you to take action, all right, towards reducing your stress. But if you have chronic sleep deprivation or stress management problems, you can reach out to me, all right, and I can help you with that. I can connect you with people who can help you. And then also, if you stay to the end, you're going to hear something that would help you to manage stress towards the end of this class. All right. So, 5 things every person living with diabetes must own. If you want to control your blood sugar, you must own these 5 things. Number one, a glucometer, a blood sugar monitor. This is extremely important. You cannot control what you don't know. All right. If you cannot see your blood sugar, if you don't know what your blood sugar is, how can you know if you're doing well or not? So you must own your own personal blood sugar monitor. All right. You must own your own blood sugar monitor strips also. You cannot have an empty machine without the strips to use with it, okay? You must own a health journal. You must have a health journal to record this blood sugar in. So what you don't document is not done. So if your blood sugar is 130, 110, 90, you must write it down. Even your doctor needs to know that, oh, is your drugs or your exercise is working or is not working. The only way you can know, or she can know that, is if there's a proof. All right. So you must document your blood sugar. Okay, another thing you need to have is food care items. We all know that those who have diabetes are more prone to diabetic food ulcers, okay, and amputations. So you must have a kit where you take care of of your feet. You cannot afford to be careless with your feet as a diabetic. You must have scissors to cut your nails, not you don't use what's that what's some of this stuff, nail cutters. You don't need it. If you have diabetes, you use scissors. You don't need anything that is sharp to cut in deep into your nail. It can give you an injury. So use small scissors to cut the top of the nail, and then use a nail file to file it off. Then you must always wear slippers when you're at home if you have diabetes. You cannot afford to walk around on barefoot so that you don't step on something that hurts your feet, because wounds do not heal very quickly in people that have diabetes. Then emergency food pack. If you have diabetes, you must have something that contains sugar on hand, so that in case you have your blood sugar drops below normal. People who have diabetes are at risk of having low blood sugar, not just high blood sugar, and this can kill very quickly. So it's good to have a food pack where you have, for example, if you have sorry, this insulin should not have been here. Insulin it should be in the emergency pack, but not it's not a food pack. Okay, so insulin, you should have insulin if you need insulin. But fast acting sugar sources are, glucose tablet, glucose powder, soft drinks, candies. These are stuff that you can easily take if your blood sugar drops. They're not stuff you should take when you're feeling thirsty, right? Take them only if you check your blood sugar and it's lower than normal. All right, then you can step in. You can take this emergency food glucose sources. All right. So, what three mistakes are you making in diabetes management? What are you doing wrong? Let me show you so that you can know how to fix them. Because these three things might be what is keeping you frustrated and sleepless, and giving you puts you at risk of complications in your diabetes management. Number one, not having a lifestyle plan. I already talked about this. Okay. Um, you must have a lifestyle plan. You cannot afford not to. As a diabetic, you cannot afford not to. All right. So once you have diabetes, like I said, drugs alone cannot control diabetes. So you must have a plan. All right. You must have a plan. Secondly, I talked about blood sugar journal. You cannot have diabetes and not have a blood sugar journal. All right. It doesn't work. So you must be able to document every single thing that every single reading that you have. Number three is keeping your medications. So you will not say, oh, I ran today, I won't take my drugs. No, unless your blood sugar is low. All right. And it's always good to have a doctor on speed dial so they can ask questions when you are confused. But you cannot say, I have patients that come to the hospital sometimes and then they say things like, I got tired of taking my drugs and I stopped. Ah, you don't have that. You cannot do that if you have diabetes. Okay, when you are taking care of yourself properly, eating right, exercising, sleeping well, when you start with your lifestyle plan and your blood sugar, and then of course it's dropping and you're recording it in your blood sugar journal, then your doctor can take a look at it and say, oh, the blood sugar is getting better, let us start reducing your medication. But it's not for you to decide or for you to forget to take your drugs. All right. So it must come step by step. The lifestyle plan must be done. All right, must be in full gear. Then you must be documenting your blood sugar journal, documenting your progress before your doctor can now say, oh, let me just adjust the medications, or best case scenario, you do not have to take any drugs at all because your blood sugar is now controlled. When this happens, then all right, then you're safe. But until then, you cannot afford to not take your drugs. All right. So these are some of the mistakes that people make in diabetes control that puts them at risk of having very high blood sugar, which can lead to emergencies. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to open it up for questions. If you have questions, kindly ask. If you have questions, kindly ask in the comment section and I'll take them. We have about 6 minutes to go. Do we have any questions? All right, so while waiting for questions, I'm going to do a quick recap of everything because some people are just joining now. So I'd like to see your questions so I can take them in the little time we have. We have 5 minutes left. So we talked about so um we talked about why people fail in diabetes control. We said there's too much information online that makes no sense. So people don't have a clear direction. You do not personalize your diabetes control. And when you hear information like what I just gave you tonight, you do not take action. So it's some of the things that can make you fail in diabetes control. We talked about how it's not rocket science to control blood sugar. If you understand the principles, you can do that easily. Okay, talked about the things that put you at risk of diabetes, and talked about how weight loss, healthy diet, exercise, and increased physical activity, okay, alongside stress and sleep management, are important pillars of diabetes control. So that's one of the things that you need to know when it comes to diabetes control. So I get some questions now. Dr. Wale, you said questions about type 1. Is that type 1 diabetes? Because there's a typo there. Do you mean type 1 diabetes? But let me answer the second question. Is wheat is wheat good for diabetics? No. Okay. Miss Stella, wheat is not good for diabetes. So this is something that I'm very happy you asked that question actually. Because many people in this our environment tend to eat a lot of wheat swallow in place of amala or gari or other stuff that we have. It's actually worse. It's actually really terrible for your health because wheat, number one, is very carbohydrate dense. Okay, it's very dense and it can raise your blood sugar pretty quickly. All right. Then number two, for many people, wheat can trigger inflammation in the body, and inflammation in the body is also one of the causes of diabetes and other chronic illnesses. So, all in all, wheat is not good for people suffering from diabetes. And then also, wheat bread on its own, for many people, they mix it with normal flour. So, really, wheat is in any form, all right, is not good for diabetics in any form, and it's even worse when it has to do with swallow because people eat a lot of wheat here and they wonder why their blood sugar is not being controlled. Okay, so Dr. Wale said type 1 diabetes. What's the role of lifestyle in type 1 diabetes? Because those patients need insulin. Does lifestyle measures have the same impact on type 1 diabetes as it does on type 2 diabetes? Okay, that's a very wonderful question. Thank you. So, type 1 diabetes is not caused by lifestyle, all right? It's an autoimmune disease, so that the body attacking the body. However, though they need insulin, not drugs, to control their blood sugar, they still need lifestyle measures. Um, Number one, about 65% of those who have type 1 diabetes are overweight. Okay, because insulin can put you at risk of becoming overweight. So you need lifestyle to help control the weight gain. Okay. And the truth is this, in no matter what kind of diabetes you have, losing weight helps to control the symptoms. So it might not help in remission like it would in type 2, but in a type 1 diabetic, being fit, okay, losing excess weight helps to control the blood sugar and also to prevent complications like heart disease, okay, hypertension, kidney disease that happens in diabetes, and foot ulcers. So a person with type 1 diabetes also needs lifestyle measures. He or she still needs to eat healthy. All right. Otherwise, the blood sugar is going to be out of control. So, though they are taking insulin, they still need to eat healthy, they still need to lose weight if they are overweight. They still need to exercise. Okay. They still need to sleep well. So, because all this other stuff, if they're not done, would take the blood sugar overboard. All right. Even with insulin. So, every diabetic needs lifestyle measures, no matter what kind of diabetes they have. Okay. I hope that answered your question. So, do we have any other questions, or do we all understand? If we all understand, can you say you understand in the comment section, as we call it a night? So, can you let me know if you understand? Or if you have more questions, you can ask so that I can take your questions. So, we're going to be having more lives, because diabetes is something that everybody should know about. Everybody should really get a handle on, because it's very, in fact, it's going to explode. Trust me. Diabetes is, in fact, we don't have diabetes now compared to what is coming. When you combine our love for pizza and sedentary lifestyle and everything that is going on right now, we're about to hit, because all over the world, all the westernized countries, they have a very high rate of diabetes and other illnesses, and ours is just starting, compared to what they have over there. But we're beginning to behave like them, we're beginning to live like them. So, and we don't have the facilities that they have. So diabetes in Africa is going to become a very big problem, because we have many diabetics who cannot handle it, because the healthcare system is not designed, it's not equipped to handle diabetic emergencies. All right, so everybody must be in control of their blood sugar to prevent it or to treat it if it has already happened. All right, so we're going to have another live in maybe 2 weeks. We're going to announce it, and you can also come on board. And recently, I'm actually putting together a book, that would help more people who have diabetes or who are prone to diabetes to also learn more and control their blood sugar. So I'm sure you had a lot of knowledge from this webinar, but trust me, what is in that book is far more than what I've taught you tonight. I have about 15 mistakes that people make, with diabetes control, and so many other problems that people face in diabetes. So watch out for the other lives. We went through a series on mental health and diabetes, and some other, topics that we need to talk about in diabetes, for everybody that has diabetes or who is prone to it, to have a better handle on diabetes. And they are all free. All right. So we're going to announce them in the next couple of days, and make sure to register and to join us like this on the day that we'll be doing it. And okay, let me see comments. The G was Stella said, I had space to learn. I'm already this way. I'm going to have to control it. Oh wow. Oh wow. You already have high blood pressure. I don't want to add high blood sugar also. Okay. Wow. I'm so sorry about that. So we'll be talking about high blood pressure also after the diabetes series. Okay. So anybody who is predisposed to having diabetes should log on, tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell your family, they should log on. All right, because it's a family history something, right? It's not just one person. So Miss Stella, tell your family to join, let them also learn the way you're learning. And for high blood pressure, we're going to have a series on high blood pressure after the series on diabetes, so that you and everybody else who has high blood pressure or who is prone to high blood pressure also can benefit, just as we are benefiting from this webinar right now. So if we do not have any more questions, all right, we're going to call it a night. Okay, let's call it a night. And thank you so much for joining. We're going to also share the replays to your email addresses, and it's also going to be on the group in case you want to go back and watch, or if you want to show someone who needs to hear what you're talking about. All right. So until next time, thank you so much. Good night.